shoulder of Alexander Stevic. 286,300 chips. Now, and they're all philosophers. I want to see some blood here, John. We've still got 8 players. The short stacks aren't going out. Let's see what's being dealt. Let's see where the action is at. Early folds coming in then. Stefan Rapp's not having any of that. Kabaj takes a look at his cards. At least one of them. Come on, son. And that's better, isn't it?
Ace 6 of hearts. It's a playable hand. He'll probably play it aggressively now. Yeah, he's raised it up to 13,000.
Sean raises to 13,000.
Suited clubs from Stevic. He likes to look at that. He wants to see it flop with such a comparatively small bet to start with. He's going to see that, isn't he, in that hand?
He doesn't have to. He's taking a bit of a risk here. But let's see how it develops. Roback folds and O'Callaghan folds. So it's back to the 2 of them.
Stevic, of course, much more boomer bust in this tournament in the final table so far. And the 5s and the 9s. Okay, he's hit his clubs, but at the same time, the ace is still leading at this stage and is still favourite. It's all in the bet, isn't it?
John's put in a bet here of about, looks like 35,000.
So he's playing that quite aggressively. Let's see what Stevic does. Of course, he still needs that 1 club. And he's went all in.
Playing very aggressively. It's going to be. It's impossible for John Kabaj to call here.
He hasn't sat in this casino all day to go out in that hand. He's sitting on absolutely nothing. So many cards to beat him at this stage. So he's got no option but to fold and just take a small beating. He's got to be thinking about the next hand here, John.
He's wondering what He's wondering what to do. He's playing aggressively. There he goes. He has to fold.
And he's folded out. Another win for Stevic. And let me tell you, that stack of Kabaj, probably the best known player at the table, is slowly but surely diminishing.
Going now. Who's going to win it?
Adam, is it, the Polish guy? And he's playing very strong, very aggressive, and he's not showing any hands, so no one can pick up any clues.
Let's see how much fun he has here. 6 players left. It's the European Poker Tour in Barcelona. More cards being dealt.
Okay, the blinds are up now to 4,000 and 8,000. O'Callaghan's folded, Rapp's folded. Round to Alexander Stevic, who sees 4-7 of diamonds.
And many better hands than that in poker.
Yeah, but he's got a lot of chips. He'll probably gamble, see if he can hit something on the flop. So he's just calling the blind.
Yeah. Any raise would knock him out at this stage.
Okay, Gary Bush and Luca folded.
And a big blind check.
He's checked with Queen 10 of hearts. Okay, so let's see what happens.
Important flop here.
What is 18,000?
Oh, well, Roback's hit a huge hand here. He's got really a middle pin straight flush draw. I mean, it's a massive hand.
So many cards to win it for him, and not any cards really for Stevic, really. He'd be looking to hit a pair of 7s, really, and hope Roback had nothing.
Well, he's putting in I can see that Stevic is putting in a bluff here of 14,000.
14,000.
Yeah.
So Roback's got to read that. He's probably is imagining Stevic is sitting there in a pair of kings or a pair of 9s, but we know he's sitting in nothing.
Yeah, he probably puts him on a pair. He's back raising.
To 50,000.
That's a big raise. Okay, so it's gone from 14,000 to 50,000. So he's raised him 36,000. It's going to be. I doubt that Stevic can call here because he knows it's quite a big raise. He's looking him down.
But he's beaten in a bluff. If Roback was bluffing, he's still beating in a bluff at this stage.
Who?
Even if Roback was bluffing at this stage, Stevic has a 7 high.
Yeah. No, I see what you mean.
There's nothing to bet.
Raise.
And he's raised it. You cannot read this man.
This is very, very good poker. He's obviously seen something in Roback. He's seen it, he's seen something, he's spotted something, he's back raised him. Let's see how much he's raising. Wow, that is a big raise. Looks like about 120,000.
John Duthie, the Carol Vorderman of the European Poker Tour. And Stevic, judging by that raise, that massive raise, he's the Jimmy White of this game. I mean, totally unpredictable.
Well, he's calling. I mean, he's
massive pot.
He's a big pot. This is a major pot between the 2 chip leaders. This is a real turning point. Whoever wins this is going to, he's going to be in a very strong position.
And here's the turn.
Oh wow, that's a scare card for both of them.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
332,000 chips in this pot. Stevic, Roback, Stevic chip leader. Roback in second place.
Okay, Roback's checked. Okay, here comes Stevic. He was eyeing, I don't know if you saw that, but he was eyeing up Roback throughout that. He was seeing what he was doing, what was going across his face before he made that check. Okay, so now he's going to put in a great bet. It's a great bet, that. He's absolutely got nothing.
Call him. Call him.
Yeah, but you say that, but it's not that easy. You know, he re-raised him on the flop, so he's got to put him on at least a king, so he thinks he's got trick kings. Look, oh no, he's shown it as well.
Oh, whatever way you look at it, genius, reckless, that's just Stevic.
It's brilliant poker, you just will not see a better hand than that. Okay, so we're still at 4,000, 8,000 blinds. It's been folded right round to the small blind, Alexander Stevic, who's found a pair of jacks.
Of course, the jacks were responsible for Stefan Rapp going home.
Oh, he's just called. He hasn't. That's interesting. It's tricky play here. He's just called. He hasn't raised with his jacks. He's just called. It's kind of dangerous because if a queen or a king or an ace or any of those three overcards comes on the flop, he could lose it. Let's see what happens. Okay, it's a very good flop for Stevic. But actually, it's not. When you look at it, it's not a bad hand for Gary Bush either. He's got a top pair with a middle pin straight draw, so he's got quite a few outs here.
And Stevic aggressive as usual. As we stand at the moment, the jack's taking it. Bush sitting with the top pair, and as you say, the middle straight draw. He's going to call this. He might even raise it. He's on.
Yep, he's moved all in. My own feeling is it's the right move to make at this time. Now Alexander Stevic is probably regretting slow playing this because he thinks,
why didn't I raise?
Well, he said exactly what you're saying.
yeah, but he still probably will call this. I mean, he's got a big overpair. He may put Gary Bush on 5. He could be aggressively playing an open-end straight draw. He could be aggressively playing a flush draw.
Well, he's called it now. He's called it now. We could be looking at another casualty here, John. The jacks did it last time for Stefan Rapp. Will this be the end of Gary Bush?
Well, Bushy's got 2 7s, 3 3s, and any of the 8 straightening cards.
No good. No good to him. Just the river, John.
He's still got those outs.
And he's out. He's gone. Stevic takes another casualty. Gary Bush isn't going to be elected tonight. He's gone. 4 players left. Stevic. Loads of his family in the background cheering him on tonight. David O'Callaghan, one of 4 players left in. Roback's almost on a chimp in a chair. And there's your chip leader, Alexander Stevic.
And he's found a pair of 8s, and he's raising what looks like 40,000.
Stevic should just be allowed to pick his own cards tonight. He said he's been paired up on those hands. He said the pocket pairs more times than I can care to remember so far.
Luca passes, Adam passes. Queen and looks like it might be an ace.
That's your eyesight. It was an ace, yes.
Okay, so he's re-raised him. How much has he re-raised him? Let's have a look.
Massive, all in.
It looks like he's raised him about 160,000. About 150, 160.
And that's an all-in bet there from Callahan. We know what happened in the last hand. Stevic is thinking about it. Given how aggressive he's been on a pair of 8s, you would imagine he's going to call this. You imagine we're going to have David O'Callaghan all in this hand, John.
I think there's a strong possibility. But
and there's a general hub around the casino and around the final table at the moment.
oh, he has called.
Just 4 players left. He's called it. Stevic slight favourite at the moment in this, John.
It's like, yeah, it's virtually even money.
Yeah.
You know, the pot size is 425,000. This is a really big pot for David O'Callaghan. Yeah, he's hit his queen.
we knew that from the crowd before even seen the queen there. The Irish up in arms at that. No partisan commentary here. Go on, David. So just the 8, just the 8. Is it going to be? No, it's in fact it's the ace. So Callahan finishes with a flutter with 2 par there, and he takes 425,000 chips.
That's a great time to double up. Great time.
Let's take a breath and look how that actually panned out. Stevic with pocket 8s in his hand, and it never got any better with the community cards. O'Callaghan, he was dealt the ace queen unsuited. and on board. He got the queen on the flop, and on the river he gets the ace. That makes 2 pairs, and that's a massive chip haul for O'Callaghan. And those ace-queen pairs puts him second, 405,300 chips, and Stevic looks anxious, as you can see, 505,000. Pagano, don't rule him out, 155,000, and this man needs some good cards, and he needs them quick. Roback won't be booking any flights to Monte Carlo at the moment, John.
No, he's short stacked, 4,000, 8,000 of the antes, and he's going to have to make a move very, very soon. He just looks like he wants to get out of there, really. I don't think he doesn't look comfortable. He hasn't looked comfortable since that big loss.
Stevic, though, let's look at it. He's lost a big hand. Maybe his confidence has taken a batter, and he might go in something. He might want to just get that confidence back, lift the hand, bet aggressively again. And he'll go against an ace-10, surely, if he's called here by Roback. And Roback's went all in this. Against the 7-6 suited, John. Who's favourite here? Who'd be looking at picking this hand at the moment? Call it for us.
I mean, Roback's favourite. I mean, Stevic is going to call because he's not really calling. It's not really doing that much damage to his stack.
Yeah.
So the cards are on the back, and Stevic needs to hit a 6 or a 7, and if he does, then Adam Roback is out of the tournament.
So he's standing up, but he's not walking away yet. Both men at attention for this flop.
It was almost destined, you know, it was almost destined.
Stevic as well, after losing a hand, looks like he is going to take yet another player out at this stage. 2 pair for Stevic, absolutely no good at all. Roback needs a 10 or an ace to take this, and he's not going to hit that. Stevic takes Roback out, and Roback will not want to see Stevic's face for a long, long time after tonight, John.
I feel sorry for him. He played well before, and now I'm afraid he's out of the tournament.
Going, and gone. 3 players left. Welcome back. 229 players down to 2 here in the European Poker Tour, and this is where we stand. We've got the chest, Alexander Stevic from Sweden, still there, and we've got the Irish head case, David O'Callaghan. It's heads up. I know anything can happen, but where do we stand between these 2 players?
It's very difficult to draw a line between them because you've got 2 similar yet totally different styles of play.
Well, to put it quite simple, Alexander Stevic has 3 chips for every 1 chip that David O'Callaghan has. But as you say, still anyone's game. We should, we don't want to labour too much on the amount of chess here being shown by Alexander Stevic. But certainly not be putting this programme out before 9 p.m.
Okay, he's picked up 5-8. Let's see what he does with it.
Alexander calls.
Again, heads up, cards take on a whole new meaning.
Completely. I mean, they've both got pathetic hands, really. But it all depends on what happens.
Flop is queen 3-8.
Okay, Stevic has picked up the middle pair of 8s.
He checks.
And no raises, of course, on the blinds, so maybe Stevic is thinking he's got it with the 8 at the moment.
Well, he probably has with the middle pair heads up. It's more than likely he has. He's got about 50,000.
And of course, O'Callaghan's looking at that flush draw. And he's going to take a risk in that flush draw. At this stage, any pair favourite against the flush draw, but at this stage, it's not the worst call by O'Callaghan. It'll bring him level, it'll double him up, it'll put him right back in with the chance of winning this.
Well, he check-raised this on purpose. It's going to be interesting to see whether or not Stevic calls. He's only got the medium pair. If he puts O'Callaghan on a flush draw, then he's got to call. Let's see what he does. He's got to think about it. Oh, he's called.
And he's called it. He didn't think about it too much. He's going to have a go at that. Stevic with the 8. A diamond takes it for O'Callaghan. The Irish contingent hold their breath. We wait for the turn.
I mean, Stevic has read this hand well. He knows he thinks he thought he was ahead and he was ahead, and so now he thinks maybe he'll get lucky and O'Callaghan will miss his flush.
And there it is already. He's hit it already. Stevic front, and there we game on now. Game on now. Almost half a stack to each player, and O'Callaghan takes that gamble. Stevic calls him in the 8, and he locks out.
Yeah, he's doubled him up straight away. Let's look at the audience behind it. They're mad.
That's wiped the smile off Stevic's face for now. He had the pair after the flop. He put O'Callaghan on the flush draw, and he was right to call. And even though he hit the queen on the river, 2 pairs nothing against the superior flush that O'Callaghan was banking on. He hit the jack of diamonds in the turn, and that gives him the chips. Stevic does not like that.
You can detect a bit of weakness now. He doesn't like it. He looks a little bit deflated. It's the first time we've really seen him look deflated in the whole of the match.
Well, here we go. 650 plus 500 chips wise.
King Jack of Diamonds, very big hand, heads up. He's only flat called. Tricky play. He's trying to trap his opponent into betting, but he doesn't.
And the flop again will determine who's going to be looking good for this.
Oh my word! Look, he's going to regret slow playing that King Jack of Diamonds because O'Callaghan's flopped trip 8.
And from being 3-1 up chip wise, Stevic could be looking at defeat here if he takes the bait.
Oh, look, he's put in a little bet. O'Callaghan put in a little bet.
Thank you. David bet 16,000.
The minimum bet 16,000. You'd think that Stevic might smell a rat there.
Alexander makes it double.
And he doesn't.
32,000.
Oh, he's raised it up to 32,000.
88,000 is the pot. Small for what's in front of them, but it's where it goes from here. A re-raise again from O'Callaghan. Of course, he's got trip 8s.
I would have been tempted to just flat called if I were David. He's back raised him with a massive hand. I don't see how Stevic can call this. He really should have tried to get some money for his trips.
And let's make it clear, Stevic is drawn dead.
He's not a call.
He's certainly thinking about it. You can't call this man. He's reckless.
I don't know what he's calling to hit here. That's a first. Another mistake that I think he's made. Well, now this is a horrible card for David O'Callaghan because if Stevic had a 9, now he's winning.
Yeah.
So it's a horrible card. It's a horrible card.
And a card that saves Stevic from ultimate oblivion.
Absolutely, it's protected him. But now David O'Callaghan has had to check. I have to tell you that if Stevic had the courage to move in here, O'Callaghan would probably have to fold.
This could be the hand of the night. We'll soon find out. Stevic, for some reason, is using the chip as a monocle, if that helps him. 304,000 in the pot, but it could be so much more severe. He's checked it round. The full house to O'Callaghan takes it. 8s and 9s. Stevic getting himself into all sorts of danger for no particular reason based on the flop and the cards he had. Can you explain that, John, or is that just plain naivety?
Yeah, I think he was trying to go and outplay him on the river. That was it, really. He was just going to try and outplay him on the river.
Can't read this game.
I would have played it completely differently, but that's me. A lot of other players would have played it completely differently. You never know.
You haven't won a hand, you haven't actually won a game of poker since you actually won £1 million.
Well, I've retired. I'm actually training to be a disc jockey.
And indeed living on the street. Let's take a look at the new cards that come in here. Stevic, at least he takes a few chips there. He takes 100,000 back in.
9 Queen, moderate hand, heads up.
Stevic will like that. He'll like it. The way he's played tonight, he'll like the fact he just has a face card.
He's just flat called with it.
Suited diamonds here.
He's checked. We're going to see a flop.
And that's what makes heads up so exciting. The flop changes everything. Let's see what we've got.
10, 8,
the 10 comes out, so O'Callaghan again, lower cards, hits that top, hits the middle pair in this.
Yeah, well, he's got to fancy he's winning because if Alexander Stevic had an ace before the flop, he would have probably raised.
Because he bet so aggressive as he has the whole way through the final table and indeed the tournament. Yeah. You'd imagine that's a straight read for O'Callaghan here.
Yeah, well, he's called. He's made the right call there.
Yes. So he fancies he's in the lead there. The 4 changes absolutely nothing.
David checks.
And that's a strange bet from Stevic.
Well, it's a total bluff.
So what's going through O'Callaghan's mind here? He seemed to have read him up to this stage. He doesn't reckon he's got the ace.
No, and having made that decision, he should stick with it. But no, he's folded. I mean, I personally think that's a mistake. But and
Stevic shows his hand again.
Yeah, it's a good play. He's trying to put the David on tilt here by saying I outplayed you. I completely outplayed you.
Which he did. I suppose Nicole Lauder Day he did.
Of course he
did. But O'Callaghan played it more bad than Stevic played it well.
I think that David O'Callaghan would admit that himself, that he's probably inexperienced in heads-up play. So, you know, the middle pair is actually a very strong hand in heads-up play if a player doesn't raise before the flop and an ace comes on board.
So O'Callaghan's starting to get back down towards the doldrums again, where his stack shortening. He's going to have to make a move fairly soon if he wants to win that top spot and that trip to Monte Carlo.
No, I agree. I think he's going to feel very vulnerable after that last hand. And now we find Stevic with another massive hand. Well, a massive hand heads up, Ace King. You know, this is a hand you want to play in a ring game. A ring game, by the way, is 9 to 10 players.
Thank you, John. He's, I mean, and he's there's a jack ace here. We're going to be looking at an all-in, no doubt, from O'Callaghan. That's what he was looking for. Stevic calls me. This is electric stuff. The jack needs to come out.
Yeah, he's dead to 3 cards.
And this could be it. After everything tonight, this could be it.
Yeah, this is. I mean, it's all over. I mean,
no, that's never all over until the flop comes out.
He could hit it. He's got 3 out.
Come on, the jack. Because I've been partisan there to the Irish man. Come on, the jack. Look how slow the dealer's doing that. Come on. All of a sudden, 3 hearts, but no one's sitting with a heart, so forget the flush draw.
Dad in the background. He's gone mad. They've gone mad.
So the king still gives it to Stevic. The king now needed for Stevic. O'Callaghan in the 2-pair, but Stevic has that ace. I can't believe that our dealer's turning the cards so slowly. What are you doing to us? Let's see the river. If it's a king, it's all over. And it's not.
He lives to fight another day. It's amazing.
490,000 chips.
Look at that face. I mean, it's just completely deflated again.
It's one of those hands, John, that plays itself. It's as simple as that. We've got ace king one side, we get ace jack the other, and heads up. Any bet made's going to be called. We just sit back and watch the fireworks go off.
It's really difficult. This guy won't lie down. This is the problem. He won't lie down.
And here we go. Queen king now for Stevic, and he's getting the cards.
It's a big hand.
What's he up against? That's the question. And it's a jack queen, so here we go again. Deep breath. We're going to see big bet, and we have to, John, on both these hands.
Well, I think that, to be honest, I think David will just call here. Because Alex has raised 55,000. He's going to call. I mean, I personally would probably not call this hand heads up. Now that I've got so many chips, I'd probably wait for a better opportunity. But he's going to call. He's going to call.
But they're both players that like to go with face cards. We've seen that heads up.
Yeah, they're both. David's probably a bit more of a gambler than. The queen comes.
And that's bad for O'Callaghan. So far, he's been a lucky jack, but we're not dealing in jacks now. That queen, O'Callaghan feels he is the top pair, he feels he's leading, but we know Stevic says he's got the king kicker. And that's the thing, so many hands all said and done in poker decided by the other cards outside of your pair, and in this case, I mean, the king's the highest there, and he bets accordingly.
He's bet 135,000. David just called this time, which is interesting.
Given the last hand, it's interesting, he hits the top pair, both players are very aggressive.
Yeah.
But they probably both think at the moment they're pulling one over on the other player. They're probably feeling the other one's flush, and that's another queen now. So we're looking at trip queens with a king kicker still winning it for Stevic.
Every queen in the deck is out, and there's only 2, between 2 players. It's very unusual.
Right, both players will feel invincible at this stage. Surely, John, this is going to. Oh, it's not looking good for David. It's really not looking good for David. He'll feel invincible at this stage.
No, it's really, really unlucky.
And here we go.
They've both gone all in.
And he needs a jack. He needs the jack.
This time.
3 queens, kick the check.
He's saying twice you hit the jack. You hit it again.
Well, O'Callaghan is the lucky jack. Let's see if he makes it a hat-trick. It is all over. Stevic takes the win here in Barcelona. Looking like long-lost brothers now. He's done nothing but show disrespect the whole way through this. The hairy-chested man that takes it. What a win. And I mean, there was nearly tears from him there. He can't believe it. He's ridden his luck tonight. O'Callaghan's family. Everyone's giving him a nice round of applause. Good game. Great last hand. Just played itself.
Oh, it's great. I mean, Alex I think he's played really, really well throughout all of this tournament, and he certainly deserves to win it. And I'm really pleased for David O'Callaghan because he's a really nice guy, and he played his best game. I'm sure even he would admit he played his best game.
So here's how the final 8 finished, but all that matters is that name at the top. We're going to talk to David and Alexander, who'd like to thank his mom, would like to thank Dawn, would like to thank John Duffy. That's probably taken it too far. Let's hear from them.
Fantastic tournament today. How did you think you did?
Quite well. I got a lot of very lucky cards. I played as well as I could. Well, I think for a period there in the last table I got a bit tired and lost the run of things, but then got into heads up, did my best, thought I had it. Luckily enough, I don't think I deserved it. But
Some of your bluffs were amazing though, weren't they?
I know, the 7-2, I don't know. I thought he was at it. That guy was robbing all the time, and I thought if I went over the top he'd fold. He didn't, so.
You didn't. Well done anyway. I'm going to go to Alexander. Alexander, congratulations on behalf of everybody, and I'm sure they're going to give you a round of applause. It was a close game, but you held your way through the whole game.
Yeah, I bluffed a lot, I did, and that's I think how I won today. I made a few good moves, I think, and had a few lucky hands as well, like the last one.
Well, I look forward to seeing you in Monte Carlo.
Thank you.
I'll be there, cheering you on, and well done both of you, and of course we'll be presenting you with your trophy very soon.
Who cares about a trophy when you get a cheque for €80,000 and more importantly a seat at the final in Monte Carlo of the European Poker Tour? Who needs people like John and I to say goodbye when we've got sweet Carlo?